Ted Cruz went on a factless tirade against single-payer healthcare, and it was comical.
Socialized medicine is a disaster. It does not work. If you look at the countries that have imposed socialized medicine, that have put the government in charge of providing medicine, what inevitably happens is rationing. You have a scarcity of doctors, you have rationing, and that means the elderly are told, we're going to ration a hip replacement, we're going to ration a knee replacement, we're going to ration end-of-life care. We're right now heading into a medical system with about a 90,000 doctor shortage in America, and socialized medicine, whether proposed by the Democrats or proposed by a Republican, would hurt the people of this country. What should we do on health care? If I'm elected president, we will repeal every word of Obamacare.
Okay, Ted, that's not a solution. If you just say what you're against, that doesn't mean it includes what you're for. Now, he goes on to give these standard far-right responses, which is, hey, let's allow people to buy insurance across state lines. A lot of people don't know the nuance of this, but basically what that means is it allows all the insurance companies to go to one state wherever they can get the best deal and pay the least amount of taxes, and it doesn't help the consumer in any way, shape, or form. And then he gives other things too, health savings accounts, basically further privatization of healthcare and health insurance. So, in other words, not a solution. But what I would say to Ted is, because his main argument against universal healthcare, single-payer healthcare, socialized medicine as he calls it, is rationing. We're going to end up rationing and we can't allow that. Ted, we have rationing right now. We have rationing for the rich against the poor. That's the U.S. healthcare system in a nutshell. If you're somebody who's, a Saudi prince, or you're somebody who's incredibly rich, sure, you want to come to the U.S. to get your surgery done. If you're somebody of middle income or low income, the U.S. is the last place you want to be. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical bills. You know how many medical bankruptcies there are in Canada? 0. Australia? 0. France? 0. Britain? 0. Every other modern industrial nation, there's no such thing as a medical bankruptcy. Why? Because your tax dollars, instead of funding endless war like it does in the U.S. and corporate welfare, it goes towards healthcare. Crazy, right? God forbid you need a surgery or something and, you don't end up going bankrupt as a result of it. So we already have rationing. And furthermore, these are the bullshit scare tactics that have been used for decades now. The reality is, guys, we have 45,000 deaths in the United States of America every single year because people don't have access to basic care. This isn't a debate. This isn't a question as to, hey, which system is better or worse? People have done these things called studies into the various systems around the world. You know what the U.S. ranks? 37th. 37th. We pay more than anybody else, any other modern nation, and we get worse outcomes. Who was number one? France. France was number one. They, of course, have a single-payer system. Now, what they do is they have public money, so tax dollars, funding a private system. That's their version of single-payer. Britain, for example, does public funds, tax dollars, going to public hospitals and institutions. So there's a variety of different ways to do a single-payer system, but there is no doubt about it. The best system in the world is different versions of the single-payer healthcare system. What we have right now in the U.S. is a joke. It's a joke. The worst thing you would ever have in any of the other nations that rank above us in healthcare is for elective procedures. So not things that you need and you need ASAP, but for elective procedures, you might have to wait a little bit longer than you do in the U.S. But in the U.S., if you're somebody who's poor and you need care, like I said, 45,000 people die because they don't even have access to basic care here. So this isn't an open question. It's not a debatable issue. Their systems are objectively better. Ours are objectively worse. And you can pretend like that's not the case, Ted, but you really are just pretending.